Peace, greetings to you all. It's your brother Naheem, BKA Lord Abba, AKA Mr. Just. The facts. What's going on, family? Make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come in. Share the video out. Let them know that we're having an important discussion today. We have, one of ours, right? One of our children have been assaulted. People pick and choose the things that they want to advocate for, especially when they feel that it can bring them some type of notoriety. But in this instance, we have a situation where children's services, they violated this child, and children's services has been one of the thorns that have been wedged in the claws of paws of Freedmen since its inception. And we're gonna bring a family on tonight. I don't know if they want to play the video. It's a long video. I don't know if they have certain parts keyed up that they want to present, but watching that video, it angers you, especially if you had children that have gone through that system, which I have. So we know that these people are liars, and we know that they get the system behind them. They just get at the judges, everybody gets behind them. And so when we are making the claim about baked in systemic racism and nobody believes us, we get to point to examples like this and see how it is played out. So first I want to bring in our Sister Kelly. And Sister Kelly, if you could give a little bit of background on the situation, and then we're going to bring our guest in. I'll speak to Donald in the building. Peace, what's going on, bro? Shout out to everybody, BTP, Riri, Vince Jefferson, Sister Fate, peace, man. Yeah, go ahead, Sister Kelly, give a better synopsis than I gave. Of course, I'm just doing a brief intro. You're in the area or near the area on the ground there.
Actually, this find, unfortunately or fortunately, is actually the stumbled upon Onco Brother 83's lap. So he's the one that actually needs to be given the credit for bringing it to my attention. We talked about this. I put a word out as we were discussing it. He showed me the article that was on a post. And it played the news segment showing the little boy being abused. We both did a little more digging. Donald did the digging of Onco Brother 83, and he found that this same abuser had found employment somewhere else in the school system, even with an email address with that school. So we both started digging, looked on Facebook. We found Britt Levinston. I left her a message in her Facebook Messenger as just saying, hey, did you know that the same person that you had just posted about on your Facebook a day ago wanting to be arrested or waiting, there was supposed to be some kind of a press conference, that this person is working somewhere else. And if you could just get in contact with us so we can get more information. And sure enough, maybe like a day and a half later, she saw the message, and then the rest is history. And I'll let them tell the rest of the story.
Definitely.
The credit goes to Onco Brother 83.
Definitely. Shout out to our brother Donald. So we're gonna bring Sister Brittany and brother, I forgot his name that fast. Kendrick.
Yeah.
Brother Kendrick on. And just tell y'all story, family. Let the people know the genesis of this story and the middle part of it and where you guys are at now in the process.
Okay. Back in October of 2021, my son came home. Well, first, let me back up. I received a phone call that afternoon. It was after school hours around 4:40 from his teacher saying that he had to restrain my son. And I asked him why did he need to restrain him? He told me at that point he got upset about picking tape off the floor.
Hold on 1 second, sis. My bad. Can y'all please tell the people before you continue, where are you located? Where did this happen, so they can know the people, the family can know the exact location?
Yes, we're located in Montgomery, Texas. What else? He's in Montgomery ISD, and it's outside, a little bit outside of Houston, where we're at. So after after I got off the phone with the teacher, he told me that he had to restrain my son for picking tape off the floor. He got upset, so a restraint was needed. So my son got home. He was really upset when he came in. He was crying. He let me know that he was pinched and he had to be restrained. And he told me another teacher's name. And I said, well, let me just, I asked him first, I said, are you sure? I said, because your teacher said that he had to restrain you. He said, no, my counselor restrained me. And so I looked at him, and sure enough, he had pinch marks on his chest. His skin was broken and it was bleeding. And so I immediately got on the phone, called the school. I spoke with the assistant principal at that time. She left a message for the teacher to give me a call back. When the teacher finally called me back, I asked him, I said, my son said he was restrained today by the counselor. And he said, I said, when I talked with you earlier, you didn't tell me anything about a counselor having to restrain my son. And he said, oh, okay, yeah, well, she did help me restrain him. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me? And he said that he yelled out, stop pinching me. You're pinching me. And he said, yes, I heard him say that. And I said, well, why didn't you stop? What did you do? What did you say? He said, well, you know how kids are. They, when they want to get out of something, they'll say something is going on. So I didn't believe him. And I was like, well, he has pinch marks on his skin. And so something happened. And at that point, I get off the phone with him. The next day, I immediately go up to the school wanting answers. I talked with the principal at the school, and I was letting her know at that time what happened. And she told me I was trying to get her to look at it. She really didn't want to look at it. It's pinch marks. And I said, well, look at it. I said, something happened. And I said, you had a teacher that said he heard my son screaming multiple times, she's pinching me, stop pinching me. And she was just like, well, we'll do an investigation. I said, okay. And then she said, in order for us to start the investigation, we're going to need you to fill out an incident form. So we left her office. She said she was going to email me the incident form. I waited on that form 2 days. About the second day comes, she calls me that morning and tells me that they came to a conclusion on the investigation, that there was no ill intent to cause harm. And I said, well, what do you mean? Where did you get that from? I said, I haven't even sent you the incident form. I've been waiting to get that form for you to start the investigation. And so she said, well, I spoke with both teachers. Well, I spoke with the teacher and the counselor that was in the classroom, and they let me know what happened. And the counselor that's in question, she said her response was there was no ill intent to cause harm. And I said, well, how can you just take their word for it if you can see that my son has scratch marks on his skin? You can clearly see that something happened. And it just didn't get there by mistake. And then she said, well, she was like, well, just talking with the teachers, that's what they told me. I said, but what about what my son told me and what I'm telling you? I said, how come what he says isn't valid? How come what he says isn't good enough? And then at that point, I told her, I said, look, I don't want to hear anymore. Just, I'm speaking with the superintendent. I just said, you know what, don't worry about it. I'll speak with someone else other than you. We get off the phone, and I write up a letter for the superintendent. I give the superintendent a call. She finally called me back, the assistant superintendent did. I let her know everything that was going on. And she told me that there will be an investigation. And when she told me it was going to be an investigation, she assigned another lady from the district to handle it. And she was supposed to be in charge of the video, getting us the video and making sure that she finds out what happened in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
And fast forward up, we get around to November the 8th. They said that we could come in. They had video for us to see what happened. We get in there. They show us just a clip of what happened, because I said, this can't be it. My son said he was alone with this lady. They showed me a 2-person restraint hold up against the wall. I said, no, this isn't it. I told her at that point, I said, you're hiding something. I was telling her what I asked her for, like for the timestamp. She was going back and forth with me about the timestamp. I say, well, this is what you provided on the incident report. So that's all the information that I had to go off of.
Mm-hmm.
So then we just go back and forth about it. I say, look, this is not it. This is not what my son said. He said he was alone with this lady.
Mm-hmm.
We leave that meeting. I reach out to the superintendent, the head superintendent himself. I let him know, what's going on. I said, I'm not waiting another 10 days to get video. I need to see what happened with my son, and I want to see it I gave them a time frame. I wanted it by the end of the week. Mm-hmm. And he finally got back with me about 2 days later. It was about 3 or 4 days later. He got back with me. We set up a date. We came in. And that's when we seen the video. It was very disturbing.
That video was very disturbing.
Yeah.
Very, very disturbing. So, Brother Kendrick, man, as a father, what were your thoughts and what actions did you want to, besides natural anger, right? What actions did you want to take so that you could bring some type of justice to these people who violated your son?
Well, my first thing is, I was tired of the lies. First of all, my instinct kicked in, because that's like one of my prime directives is mm-hmm. I have to protect.
That's right.
My other one is I have to provide.
That's right.
When my son's telling me, this is what kind of sparked it that night. I knew something else was going on. But he said, well, Daddy, who's going to watch me if I get in trouble at school? I said, well, what do you mean who's going to watch you? And then at that point, I knew he was really, really scared. So I said, well, I got to go handle this. So we're up there trying to handle this the right way, going to the school, filling out all these forms and mm-hmm. and doing whatever they're asking of us to get to the bottom of this. Because, I know my son, my son is fearless. And when you're mm-hmm. telling me, I felt kind of helpless at the moment. I'm like, well, who's going to watch? I'm like, I drive trucks, so mm-hmm. I'm away. Mm-hmm. But he tells me, who's going to watch me? Like, that sent a chill down my spine. Mm-hmm. So we were just, I just wanted to dig and see what really happened to him. Because I knew it was more than what they were leading on. So when we saw the actual assault that day, before we even watched the video, the superintendent, he said, I'm going to let y'all know, when I saw this video, I had to immediately call the chief of police. Mm-hmm. So the chief of police was actually in the meeting with us watching the actual assault that they showed us. Mm-hmm. And man, it really hurt me to my core, to see. I was kind of in disbelief, because I didn't want to see that was my son on this tape.
That's right.
And, I'm just like, I was really super angry, because they denied me the chance to actually get him to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Had I known, because he didn't even remember any of these events that happened to him. All he remembered is the pinch. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I had no clue that he was drugged across the floor. I had no clue that she had her knees in his back and her elbow in his neck. Like, he didn't know any of this. Mm-hmm. And this is what I'm seeing on film, and I'm trying to connect with it, but I'm like, it's just my brain won't allow me to say that's my son. So that was so hard. It was, and the thing about it just kept going on. That's what just kind of it kills you inside to see your child going through something, and like You know, most time a teacher will hit a student or something like that. You might see in the news. It might be just a slap or a punch. It's just a one time deal. It's like she just kept going on for minutes and minutes on end. And then when we were able to zoom in, she's actually smiling.
She took off her earrings.
She was smiling.
She took off her earrings as if she was in a, a fight. You know how some girls, they'll take off their earrings getting ready to fight. And then she looks up to the side and she's smiling. It was like she was getting joy out of just kept. She just kept.
And what is this woman's name?
Her name is Krista Tatum.
Krista Tatum. Yeah, we got somebody to set our sights on, family. We need to get behind this family 1000%. We need all hands on deck. We're trying to get Brother Donald to come in and the other activists that has been with you since this thing started. I just think they're having the same issues you guys were having earlier, trying to log on. Sister Kelly, did you have anything you wanted to ask? Or just more questions to bring out more information?
Just to help paint the picture and keep it going. So since you guys saw the video and we're going to get to, if they can get on, we can get to the person that actually provided you the video by the name of Jen, if she can get on here. She should be coming, who has been very instrumental out there from what I could see, because we were able to connect with her and she was able to give us some behind the scenes information as well. So I just wanted to know from that point, once everybody had seen what they needed to see, and you can say a little bit about what happened to the teacher once they saw what they saw about the her going on leave without pay and then was working somewhere else and then was eventually, and I'll let you go from there.
Okay. So after we saw the video, we were told that they were going to take it down to the district attorney's office. But before the district attorney would look at it, he wanted my son to do a forensic interview. We didn't want him to do a forensic interview. We felt like he's already been through enough. He's already told principals and he's already told his part. He already told what happened. So I didn't want him to keep going through it. The district attorney, he sent the message through one of the officers and said, well, if they don't do the forensic interview, then I'm not going to even look at the video. And I just was like, why? He has everything that he needs. The video will speak for himself. He doesn't need my son to do any type of interview. So
they wanted us to think about the forensic interview. They would not let us know any of the questions they were going to ask. They said he had to be in a separate room from us. I said, well, can we at least watch it on camera? Because at this point, I don't want to leave my son alone with anybody.
That's right.
They said I couldn't even watch it from the camera that they're watching it from.
So let me ask, did they have a what is it called? A guardian ad litem? It's like an attorney that would come in and sit down with the child? Or did they just want to have him in the room, basically like an interrogation by himself?
That's what they said. They had somebody trained to, who does this with kids and they're qualified, and who just ask him some questions to see what he would say. And if he didn't like any of the questions or if he got scared, they would end it.
So no, I don't mean the interviewer, because in situations like that, usually it's lawful for someone called the guardian ad litem. This is somebody that is like an attorney for children. So
not that I know of.
Oh, so wow.
Not that I know of.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
So we were. So I was super uncomfortable, but I'm like, okay, if this is gonna get this lady, locked up, let's just get this over with. So we did that. I talked to the one of the CPS investigators, and he was just like, man, you did well. Your son, he told what he needed to tell. And we're just still waiting on the video to be sent from the school. So, a couple weeks later, we get a call, or we get a letter in the mail from the CPS worker, and he's saying that in the letter, basically, it states that there was no abuse found. So I'm just baffled at this point. So I give him a call, and what he tells, I said, how do you find that there's no abuse found? And he said, all there is on this video is a little bit of rolling around and your son trying to kick the teacher.
Oh, wow.
That's what he told me.
Wow.
And I was trying to figure out how in the world did he come up with that conclusion? I said, did you watch the angles or did you? He said, I watched all the angles. And then, so, you know, I got irate with him. I'm not going to lie. And he told me, why are you getting mad with me? I didn't do anything to your son. So that's when I just had to, you know, hang up the phone.
Yeah, he said, I'm not the one that did anything to your son.
So I'm just trying to figure out, I'm just like, okay, so we're dropping the ball with CPS. I don't understand. And then the next thing we know is the teacher's supposed to be on administrative leave. But we found out, you know, much later that she was actually still on campus for a few weeks after all the video and everything transpired. So and then you know, we hear from the DA. You know, we kept calling because we have a case number, right? So we're calling to see what's the status, because I'm looking up mugshots every single hour on the hour, hoping to see this woman's name and face. It never happens. So we're calling the DA to see what's going on. We give them the case number, and they're just like, well, we don't have anything about that. Like it's like the case number never existed. This goes on for weeks. So we just dumbfounded. Like, did y'all even turn this information in? And then we get a call. She gets a call one day from another guy from the DA's office, and he tells her that the case is being moved to another county.
What purpose did they? What was the purpose to move the case to another jurisdiction?
We were told due to familiarities that they were moving the case to another county. And that was all that he would say. And they wouldn't, I kept poking for answers, asking more questions to try to make it make sense to me. And he wouldn't, that was the only thing he kept telling me. It was like, I can't tell you anything else. That's just.
And then when we asked, well, why do we call and nobody knows what we're talking about? And then he told us it's kept in a special case file for like high profile cases, like politicians and whatnot. We're like, who is this woman? Is she like, I don't know who she is. Why you can't even put in our case number in the computer? We don't want everybody to access it. So it's kept in basically a manual folder, which is unheard of in 2022.
So you believe that there's some type of cover up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I totally believe it.
It sounds that way.
Coincidences.
It sounds that way. Sister Kelly had put in the chat, and I have it up on the screen. Even YouTube had taken the video down because of the abuse, but the DA and CPS couldn't find any abuse. So we have Jennifer Knighton. I'm gonna bring you on. Jennifer Knighton, you're on right now. Can you introduce yourself and tell the people how you got involved with the situation and what you're trying to do to remedy this situation?
I cannot hear very well. If you can give me a second, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I think she's having audio issues right now. We could hear her, but I don't think she can hear us that good. Okay, so family, it's hard for anyone to see the video because they have it. What I'm gonna do is there's a piece of the video in the inbox from Brother Donald, and I don't know if y'all want me to play any of that video.
I don't mind because it needs to be shown, because I'm sure that there's another child out there that probably went through something similar. I don't know if she's done this ever. You know, a lot of times people don't stop a habit until they get caught. So this might have been something that she had a path on doing. I don't want anybody else to go through this. So she needs to be exposed, and you know, I don't mind sharing this because this is a problem that needs to stop.
Let me see. because what I'm looking at now is a video of the video.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I'm trying to just get it to a point. All right, I'm gonna share this. I'm not gonna play all of it. I'm just gonna share this portion of it, and y'all can kind of let the people know what's going on here. Again, family, this is a video of the video, so it's kind of hard to really see what's going on. But if you can recollect, can you tell what's going on in the video here?
This is when it kind of first got started. When she got up from out of her seat, charged over at him while he was sitting on the floor, and she slung him down to the floor, and then she slung him again. And at this point, she was on his, let me see, is that what her arm? I think she had her arm, but it's really hard to see.
It looks like
she had her arm like pressed at the back of his neck while he's face down on the floor. If this is the part. And all at that point, one thing he could do is kind of wiggle his head a little bit and kick his feet. Because she had him pinned down, and then she had her weight on him. I can't really see.
Yeah, I know it's hard to see because it's a video of a video of. Did your son try to like fight back? Like, did he feel like he was being attacked, and he felt the need to like try to fight these people back because he's being.
I'm sorry, I don't even think that he knows what was actually going on, because only thing that he said to us was he was pinched and she was crushing on him. Those were his words.
I know he tried to when his main teacher came in, he did try to fight back. He was, he was by himself. He didn't know this lady, and like when the video started, he was already afraid of her for some reason. So that's why we were trying to press the school to give us what happened between 8 a.m. and this attack at 10:20 something a.m.
And also, let me interject, Britt and Kendrick, and for the audience sake, can you give them some insight about what had happened before? Even though it doesn't matter, there's no excuse for an adult to do any child, much less our children, that way, because I consider all Black children my children, our children, our community's children. But explaining them about the bullying that happened before that possibly led up to this incident.
So we really don't know why he was in the room. I have two narratives as to why he was in the room. The first one was he was in the room because him and another boy were having problems. They had got into it. They were fussing, yelling. That was one narrative. Another one was that he was in this room because they said this is where he goes to cool down. That is something that one of his other counselors had advised his teacher, that they bring him in this room so he can be able to cool down before the day gets started. But the morning has been 2 hours in. It's 10:17 at the time of this attack. So we were kind of confused, and he still had his backpack on. So I don't know why he was in this room.
We don't know when he got in the room.
We don't know when he got in the room. They still have not supplied us with that information. But from what the director that was over the investigation, she had told us that the reason for the attack was he wouldn't stop picking the tape off the floor. That's what Krista Tatum had told her.
I can't hear you. You're still muted, Naheem.
My bad, family. I'm looking at the video. I'm looking at it on YouTube so I can see it a little bit more clearly than the audience can, maybe. And I can see where she held him down and then where she got up. And I mean, if she did all of that because he was picking tape off of the floor, then we really need to make this a nationwide story. We have Jennifer Knighton. Can you hear us?
I can hear you better now. Yes.
Okay, definitely. So I was told that you are the one that obtained the video footage. Can you explain to the people who you are, what your role is, and how you got involved in this situation?
So my name is Jennifer Knighton. I do a lot of work in the community, activism, counseling. I met this family through Brother Cornell X, and they had said that they were going to go and see the video. The school district has been really reluctant with releasing the video. And the day that we went, they said that nobody could record. The family wasn't allowed to record. And that only told me one thing: it needed to be recorded, because there was something that they didn't want to get out into the public. And that's what I did, because this is something serious, and this should bring a national, I mean, everybody should be outraged, not only for the child, but for the family as well.
That's right. That's right. So how did you obtain the video? Did you have to do a FOIA request?
So all you have to do in order to see the video, you can actually go and request it, and they put you in a room and allow you to see it. Mm-hmm. But they would not release the actual video.
Oh, so you had to record it from your phone, basically. Oh, okay, I get it now. Wow.
Right. So and after we went, the family has requested again to have a copy of the video, and they still have not released it.
And why are they not releasing it? What are some of the reasons that they are telling you? Like, is it an ongoing investigation? Why are they not releasing this video? What are they telling y'all?
The first thing they told us was they wouldn't release it due to HIPAA. So I'm not sure how true that is, but that's what they told us. So we went back and forth with that, and I just said, well, he's the only child in the room, so, I'm just, I'm not understanding why it won't be released, why you guys won't release it. And then when we went a few days ago to see the video, with my mom and his parents, Kendrick's parents, they wanted to see the video. They wanted to see, they wanted to see and know what happened.
See for themselves.
Yes.
And how bad this really was.
At that point, they said that we, what did she say? We couldn't see the video because, we couldn't have they wanted us to take it down. They said if we edit or took some information down off of YouTube, then possibly they would consider us getting a copy of the video.
Oh, wow. Oh,
but
wow.
And I can attest to that because I was in the room when it was said.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is just crazy. And I was vaguely familiar with the HIPAA laws, but I wanted to pull it up, and that makes absolutely no sense at all. Did they give you guys anything in writing stating that these are, or this particularly is one of the reasons why they can't release this video?
No.
Okay.
We just had their attorney. They had their attorney present. Mm-hmm. So she was basically making the calls, Mm-hmm. So that's what she was saying, on their behalf.
Indeed. We got Brother Donald on. Brother Donald is in the Houston area, and peace, what's going on, fam? He has been the one that has been keeping me updated on this situation. I know we was trying to do it the past couple days, have this conversation, but there was just some conflict in scheduling. And, I'm glad that we're able to get this thing going. Brother Donald, tell the people how you heard about this your involvement in what you're trying to do insofar as bringing justice to this family?
Man, it came across my Twitter feed. Fox 26 was the first news station to actually report it. So when I looked at it and I saw it was a 7-year-old special needs kid, and he was Black in Montgomery County, Texas. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? And so I started doing my research and everything. And I immediately called Sister Kelly and was like, have you seen this as far as what's going on with this little boy? So we did a little bit more research, and I just asked her to reach out to Britt on Facebook because I really wanted to help and try to get her justice.
That's right. That's right. So, I mean, this is something that we need to be shouting from the top of the mountains, right? You know, there was a situation in Mason, Tennessee, and, you know, everybody came together for that. We need everybody to come together for this. We need everybody to come together for all issues involving injustice, particularly when it comes to freedmen children. And when we say freedmen, we mean American Blacks, for those that don't understand that terminology. So, Sister Britt, Brother Kendrick, is there any more that you would like to share on this story? And Sister Kelly, you could jump in after that. But, you know, I want people to hear from the family and, you know, provide some information on how they can help. What are some of the things that you need besides, you know, moral support? You know, just explain to the family.
Oh yeah, so definitely, like, you know, with the initial DA never picking up the phone and having a special case file, and when it got transferred over to the other DA's office, the other county, the same thing went on. Nobody knew what we were talking about. Case numbers never put up anything. Nobody ever calls back. You know, it just went on. So we were just kind of dumbfounded. We just like, everything cannot go wrong in a row. Like this has to be. It feels orchestrated. It feels orchestrated, and it's just baffling because he's just a child, man. You know, at one point she could have killed him in my eyes because
that's right.
He was laying flat on his back, he looking lifeless.
That's right.
It was disgusting, and just no one should have their knees or their elbows in anybody's neck. We already know what that looks like, and it's just super disturbing when you think about it. That it's just as he's just a 40-pound boy, you know, and it's just the disregard for his life, you know, just being, you know, it disturbs me. It irks me. Honestly, it makes me angry because he's not a dog. You know, when we finally watched the whole video, he was sitting on the floor. They were trying to get him to do homework on the floor. They never provided a desk, never provided a chair. And then when they brought his lunch, they set his lunch tray on the floor.
Yeah, he never got it seemed he was in that room for over 2 hours showing on the video. He was never given a restroom break, given water. You can see on the video, both the counselor and the teacher after the attack, they were out of breath. They were tired. They were, drinking water. And not one time did they check on him to see if he needed anything. Not even a phone call to me to let me know that a restraint was given or just take him down to the nurse.
They didn't even take him down to the nurse. And then we don't know even what happened after that 2-hour block that they show us. We don't know where he was at. We don't know what happened to him. We don't know what happened to him before because he was already afraid of her. So it's so many dropped balls in this situation that it just feels orchestrated. And this is a city where my grandmother taught at the school for over 45 years. She just recently retired, maybe less than 5 years ago. So, and for me I've been in that school 100 times since I was a child. When I would come down here and visit, we would go to her school with her, like in the summertime, help her clean out her room and all that. Then I have to watch the video of my son being treated less than human in her very building. That's crazy. That's like the ultimate slap in the face. And that's why I'm like, I don't care what I have to go through, what I have to do. I have his back, and I have to show him that I have his back. I have to show the rest of the children that I have their back because I'm daddy at the end of the day. So he's looking for me.
That's right.
No, to answer the question, we don't have an attorney. Everyone that we have called, they want to see video, and we basically got turned away because we couldn't supply the video.
Wow.
I was going to say also, Britt, can you tell them what you told me about the one attorney that told you about stepping on toes?
Oh, yes. So we had an attorney back of the beginning of December. We had an attorney, and it seemed like he was all for us, wanting to get this out. And then he said he's going to go down and speak with the DA to see what's going on with the case. So he goes to Montgomery County, speak with the district attorney. He gets back to us, and then the first thing that he tells us is, well, you don't want to go starting trouble. You never know who you're going to upset. And I was just like, well, what do you mean starting trouble? I haven't done anything. I've been asking you questions. I've been calling, trying to see what is going on. I haven't started any trouble. He said, well, you just don't want to go around starting trouble.
That's how they get down out here.
So I guess by me asking questions, I was starting trouble because I wanted to know what was the status of the case. So I was calling just about every day. They said that I just could not understand why, if you can see on video of someone hurting someone, why isn't that good enough to have an arrest?
I also wanted to add something because I heard you, Brittany, say restraint, and I just want it to be very clear that nothing that happened that day that Krista Tatum did to your son was in any way any type of restraint. What she did to him was abuse.
That's right. And torture. That was abuse and torture. They didn't give him any water for over 2 hours. And that, from my estimation, that also constitutes torture.
Neglectful supervision. There are so many things that CPS could have found or classified it under, and CPS has failed this family. The district attorney's office has failed this family, and this is not okay.
Definitely not.
That's right. Somebody posted up a comment that said the principal's office oversees all cameras. The fact that neither the principal, assistant principal, or nurse intervened shows internal collusion. Is that a statement that you all would agree with?
I'm not sure who's over the cameras. We were told that it has to everything has to be requested through the district. So
through the IT department.
As I know. But I wouldn't doubt it because it's not the first time that they lied to us. So it's kind of one of those things.
And I looked up the demographics for Montgomery, Texas, and it's 90% white and 6% Black or African American. So I know that this has to be an uphill battle, and we definitely have to get our family involved. Again, for those of you who have been following the situation in Mason, Tennessee, that was a predominantly Black town, and essentially they were in control if they wanted to be over their own politics. That is not the case here. This family needs all of the help that it can get. Brother Donald, did you want to share anything?
Man, I just appreciate you for bringing everybody on the show to bring awareness to this, because I've tried pretty much making this go viral and I haven't had any success. But like I said, I'm just happy that, we're able to take one step forward as far as getting the story out, because it needs to be out and put on Front Street.
Definitely.
What I want to say too, Donald and Jennifer, if you can guys, and also Britt, obviously, and Kendrick, if you guys can talk about the most recent press conference that took place a few days ago, because there's been another one since they have, in all of their exhausted efforts, that there's now another one where I believe you guys went to the DA office, and I apologize in advance. I was the one on speakerphone going after Ms. White.
There, they had, we went inside the office. We were trying to speak with Ms. Bender. Andrea Bender is the district attorney in Grimes County. So we were told she was in meetings. She couldn't come to the. She couldn't come out to speak with us, and so we asked about a lady that we had spoke with previously. Her name was Brenda Williams. If she was there, and she was. So she comes out. She was telling us, you know, her background with the company, with the district attorney's office, how long she's been there, and that she sees no color. You know, and that we're trying to make this out of a race thing, and we're, you know, she was just really upset that we were there and that we were just speaking the truth on everything, because what we said, it was true. We called.
I feel like it is now. You know, at first I wasn't.
She hasn't even seen the video.
She says she hasn't seen the video.
Yeah,
I don't
she
know
said she hadn't even seen the video.
how true that is.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I did contact somebody from there, they said that she was over the investigation, but she said she wasn't.
She's a crime victims coordinator.
So I'm not sure who to believe. It's so many lies have been told consistently. It's like everybody is working together, and it's just disgusting. Like I'm sick of it.
Indeed. This story definitely sounds fishy. You know, listening to you all tell what you've gone through, hearing. Yeah, go ahead, Sister Kelly.
I was going to say, for Donald and Jennifer, they were there standing on either side of Britt and Kendrick, advocating and fighting. Donald got the footage and was fighting. Jennifer is trying to talk through a mask and holding up a sign and is fighting. And here this woman comes out who's supposed to be basically like the gatekeeper of deciding what cases get seen by the DA. And all she can do is stand out there and talk about how her father was some pastor or some church. At that point, because I was watching it live, and because of Donald broadcasting it, and was able to get in touch with another YouTube channel to get it to broadcast live. And so I was watching it, but as I'm hearing this, and this is another bad example or good example of people who look like us but don't work for us. They don't have our best interest at heart. So what happened is that they had one officer come out, had a white man come out, he went back in, and then she came out. And I can tell from what I was watching, in my opinion, they sent her out there to dissipate the energy. I even said that to Jen on the phone. Thank you, Jen, for letting me have your phone number. I was adamantly going, put me on speakerphone, put me on speakerphone. And they put me on speakerphone because I wanted to make her go away, because they kept trying to get Britt and Kendrick to let's just take your number and we'll call you back later. They were trying to get them to we'll just call you back. And even Kendrick at one point was even saying, well, when are you guys going to call us back? You know, you're saying you're going to call us back. When are we going to hear from someone? And then the Miss Williams lady, the character, came out saying that the DA was busy. They kept saying she was busy. And I'm not knocking the county of Montgomery, but I'm like, it's not that big. It wasn't in a Jeffrey Dahmer case. She wasn't handling some big high profile case. She was available. They just thought that if they sent a black person out there to give niceties, that Britt and Kendrick would go away.
And what is her name again?
Brenda Williams.
Brenda Williams. You know, these are names, family, because like I said, this family needs all of the help that it can get in a town where the demographics are not in their favor. So I have a question from the chat. Darkchild Williams asks, what happened to the hearing on the 25th of March? Excuse me if it was already talked about.
We don't know.
Yeah.
They haven't said anything back to us.
It kept getting they had it on the one day, and then it was ongoing. So as of now, we haven't heard anything of
during that hearing, outcome. She was trying to request our son's school records so she could try to get her job back. You know.
Wow.
And then the school requested his history. Yeah, they wanted his history. Yeah. And they wanted to request, they wanted us to sign off on the video and the screenshots of the woman smiling and pulling her earrings off so they could stop paying her in court. So they used all that footage, but they would not allow us to have the same footage to help get her locked up. Because these cameras are good. These are 4K. They're in color. For some reason, there's multiple angles, but they have no sound. That's what they're telling us. That's what they say. And but they're using our son's footage so they can stop hemorrhaging money on her behalf. And I'm telling them, I don't care if she has a license. I don't care if she's employed.
That's right.
I want her in jail. She can teach what she wants to.
That's right. She deserves to be under the jail. That's
what I told when they asked me what when we're in the initial viewing of the video, what do you want to be done? Do you want to prosecute? I said, I want her under the jail. I want them to build the jail on top of her because this boy is my future. He's doing it for a reason.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you were going to say something, Kelly?
Yes, I was going to say to corroborate what Kendrick is saying, not that it wouldn't be corroborated, but if anybody goes to Onco Brothers Twitter page and also look up the hashtag Justice for Ken, he has the actual footage of that exchange of Kendrick demanding that this woman be put under the jail. So he says that. And I also have a question for you guys as well. Since that, I think this happened a few days ago, but have you heard from Miss Williams or the other gentleman that was the officer that was out in the lobby?
Yes, the guy that I think his name was Gonzalez. He called that afternoon and he said, we can get you guys in on April the 12th at 3 p.m. I said, he said, will that be fine? I said, well, that's the, closest date that you have. That's 2 weeks away. So Andrea Bender won't be able to speak with us until April the 12th.
So it seems as if they're trying to draw this thing out.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna stay on their necks, family. We're here so that we could bring attention to it, so that the family that we're connected to, who have large social media presences as well, they can really put this thing into the spotlight. We will not stop until we get justice. We want the video. Issa said to get the video, file a public records request. That's what I was asking earlier. Did you file a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act? But y'all said y'all don't have an attorney, correct?
Not yet.
It was already filed through. It was already filed under the educational records under FERPA, but because there's a child involved and the child is in the video, it is in his educational records. But because the parents have requested it, that is what they're waiting on. It doesn't qualify under the Freedom of Information Act because it's under FERPA.
I'm gonna look that up, and let's see, family that's listening in, that's viewing. Let's make sure that we get in contact with civil rights attorneys, particularly in the area. I believe this town is about 40 miles. What is it, north of Houston?
Yeah, like northwest. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, we have some people in the Houston area that we need to be reaching out to. We need to make some noise, and we're gonna get justice for Ken. And it's just as simple as that. So, is there any other way that we can assist you all in your push? Are you trying to put and I know it's hard because you don't have an attorney yet to even fundraise to get attorney fees for, but is that something that you're looking forward to doing? Do you have a GoFundMe established, etc.?
No, we don't have anything. We just been searching, just trying to just make phone calls. We really want to just push this issue as far as it can go. Like, share. If anybody can just do any of that, we're happy with that. We can just get some type of support. Redo the hashtag. Just share whatever anybody can do. We're willing to jump on board and try to figure things out, because it's really hard too, especially me being a truck driver. I was able to stay home with him at first for a few months, but bills keep coming. So
that's right.
it's kind of tough. So I'm always on the phone, always FaceTiming them as much as I can to make sure everything is all right. Did y'all lock the gate? Make sure, I just don't even feel safe. Make sure nobody's following you. Make sure you park over here. Be aware of your surroundings. I don't want anything to happen to any of my prized possessions ever again. That's over with.
That's right. Sister Britt, you have anything you want to say before we start winding this thing down?
I just want to say thank you, and if y'all can just keep pushing this so we can get some help, especially an attorney. If anyone knows anyone, if they could just send them our way. I mean, we're still gonna keep making the phone calls, and we just want to get it out there. We want to expose this woman. We want to expose the district. We want to expose the county, CPS, everybody who failed my son in this process. They need. It needs to be consequences.
That's right. And, family, like I said, let's get on this. If anybody knows any civil rights attorneys in the Houston area, let's move. I'm going to do my part from this end, and hopefully we can bring you guys back and get an update. Jennifer, did you have anything that you wanted to say before we wind down?
I have one last thing to say. Somebody actually reached out to me yesterday, and because of Kendrick's story, they actually are questioning some things that has happened to their own child at that same school. And I think that's another important reason for this to get out, because we don't know how many other people, how many other children this has been done to. And we have to make sure that Kendrick and his family gets justice, and that this doesn't happen to any child ever again.
That's right. Brother Donald.
Okay, I'll be streaming a protest live tomorrow out at the CPS office in Montgomery County. I think it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. Is that right, y'all?
10 a.m.
Oh, 10 a.m. Okay.
Yes, 10 a.m.
Y'all rock.
But I'm putting our calls to action. So, I mean, for people that have called the DA's offices, I do appreciate y'all. But, I mean, my thing is let's get it. Let's get this lady behind bars.
That's right. And Brother Donald, make sure you get me that information too, phone numbers, etc. We need to start blasting this stuff all over social media. We need to have that same energy for every single infraction against our family that we have for every other incident. And, I was able to see that video, and, I seen an assault and torture. That's what I seen. Assault and torture. So, Sister Kelly, you have anything you wanted to add?
I just want to say thank you, Britt. Thank you, Kendrick, for having to say this story over and over and over again. But I know when it comes to our children, I would tell it as many times as I need to tell it until I can get the help that I need, I feel satisfied that justice was done to me and mine. So I appreciate that. I appreciate Donald for even breaking the story to me. I appreciate us being able to, Britt, you responding to me, Jennifer getting involved, Kendrick for even talking to me, and Naheem and the Be the Power group for even making this public and putting it on their platform. So I appreciate that. And if anybody is out there that knows a reputable lawyer or knows someone in ACLU or could get in contact with the NAACP, I mean, we could all do this. These are things that I'm going to do as well. But please direct it. If you can't direct it to me or Donald or Jennifer or get to Britt or Kendrick directly, then please get to the Be the Power brothers. And we can, keep this in the spotlight, because when it comes to our children, all bets should be off. And
that's right.
All bets are off.
That's right. So, I see people putting in the chat, Ben Crump, Lee Merritt, etc. We need to get somebody on this case, family. I see people trying to question some of these people. That this is not the place for that. we need to get as much exposure on this situation as possible, period. So, you know, Brother Ty Harper said, let's also contact Texas DOJ. So let's definitely come up with a list of phone numbers and emails, and let's get the family on this thing. And we want to make sure that we bring Brittany and Kendrick. Oh, I hear an echo. Brittany and Kendrick back on maybe 2-3 weeks from now, or, you know, just if anything breaks, because we want to have an update and we want to do a follow-up with this family and make sure that they get justice, period. So I want to thank Brittany and Kendrick for coming on and giving their testimony. And, you know, like Sister Kelly said, you know, telling the story over and over, but this is a story that you should tell over and over and over and over again until justice comes, period.
Yes.
So Kendrick and Brittany, thank you again for coming through. Sister Kelly, you already know. Jennifer Knighton, thank you for, you know, being an advocate and fighting for this family. We need more people like you in the world.
Definitely.
Donald, you know, you already know what it is, man. We're going to stay in contact. We're going to keep this thing moving. And we will not stop until we get justice for this family. So we're going to end the stream right now. Again, make sure y'all follow our Twitter pages so that y'all know what's going on. On, what is that, On Cold Brother 86?
Nah, it's On Cold Brother 83.
On Cold Brother 83. Make sure y'all follow on the Twitter page, On Cold Brother 83, so that y'all could have direct updates. He's going to stream the rally tomorrow. If I'm back in time, then I might throw that up on the channel as well. I might do a stream right here from the channel. So just y'all keep your eyes out, family, because we're going to stay on top of this thing. Again, thank you all for coming on, and let's get justice for Ken.
Justice for
Thank
Ken.
y'all very much.
Indeed, indeed. All right, family, peace.
All righty.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.